Hey everybody, it's the Nitty Professor. I'm here with Benny and Siva, the Lapsky dog. She heard me call her. And today's topic that I want to kind of chat with y'all about is my top 5 workhorse yarns that I keep coming back to. And as I talk about these yarns, I'll be really curious if they line up with the yarns you prefer to use. And especially as someone who's from the US, you know, there are certain yarns that we run across over and over again, and some of them are from Canada, our neighbors to the north. But I discovered as I was putting out the yarns and the sweaters that I want to show you here that I have literally yarns from 5 different countries. So it just goes to show the international dimensions of knitting as a craft. So let's, well, heck, we'll start with an American brand. So you all have seen me talk about the Lamb's Pride a lot from Brown Sheep in Mitchell, South Dakota. I did a video one time going into a little bit of my trip there with my son. I hope to go back because when I did go, I wasn't able to actually visit the mill where they produce the yarn, but I was able to go to the discount store that they have, and, you know, just to be on the grounds of such a kind of fabled yarn producer. There aren't that many yarn producers left in the United States. A lot of it has gone to Turkey, China. So I really want to support this Nebraska operation because they have a very quality product. This yarn is fantastic to work with. This is 15% mohair and 85% wool. It's a worsted weight, so a number 4. And so, you know, the needle size you would use with it would be, well, it says a needle size 8. So I am, as you know, working on a new sweater with Lamb's Pride yarn from Brown Sheep. It's just so sturdy, but the colors are very vibrant. So here's a sweater that you've seen before, the Ridari that I knit from Brown Sheep yarn. And I just love the way it lies, you know, the way it drapes. The color work, it pops, you know, it was really easy to work with. The yarn is warm. I live in a cold climate, so I really do need sweaters that are going to encase me in wool and mohair. Apparently, it washes great. I just have 0 problems. The quality of the yarn is really high. The price point is also, it's extraordinary. That especially, you know, I can find deals on seconds very easily because it's also readily available. So that's another wonderful thing. I mean, if you make friends with the yarn and you like the way that it handles the stuff, you want to feel like you can just get it whenever you need it. And that's the case with Brown Sheep. Around here in the middle of the country, so I'm in South Dakota, it's pretty easy. I could just go one town over to Groton and I can pick up some Brown Sheep yarn. So that's the first yarn. Let's go to our neighbors to the north. This is a brand of yarn that I run across. Hey, Benny. Hi, Benny. Hey, Benny. You need my attention? Huh? Need my attention. They need my attention. This is Patons, Patons. I've heard it pronounced a million different ways. Obviously, French is a bilingual country, so if you want to call it Patons, 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 I'd be really curious what your pronunciation is. If you're from Canada and you have a preference for the pronunciation, please share it with us. I like to call it Patons because I speak French, so I like to go up to Canada and use my French, even though a lot of Canadians are like, I speak English, and I'm like, I know, but, you know, so anyhow, going there in June. Got a conference I'm going to in Toronto. But this is a wonderful worsted weight yarn. It comes in so many colors. It's very high quality. And I'm just going to look on here to see if it's actually made in Canada, because I think it's a big company, so not all of their yarn is actually manufactured in Canada. But I do try to lean towards the yarn that is. Trying to find this on the label here. So I have not used this particular yarn here. It has some neps in it that are acrylic, but the rest of this is 90%, and there it is. It says, yes, made in Canada, which is what I prefer. And this purple I just used on the scarf I finished. This is 100% wool. And let me just double check on here. This happens to be made in Turkey. So as I said, some Patons yarn is made in Turkey, but grand majority of, at least what I've seen, And maybe it's because I am able to thrift this a lot, but it is made in Canada, and that's what I typically look for. I'm sorry, but it's just a great wool. It's there's like, it's just standard. It's a workhorse yarn. I just think that's a perfect definition of Patons. Patons is it's just a workhorse yarn. It's 100% wool. It's a nice sort of twist to it. Holds together really well. It's very sturdy. It's durable. I have an example here of a sweater that I knit majority from Patons. This colorwork sweater here that I kind of put together. So the orange yarn is Patons, the blue, the purple, and the pink. The grand majority of this yarn is from Patons or Patons. I've used a lot of their cotton yarn. And again, it's easy to get a hold of. If any color under the rainbow you can find. I have no problems with this yarn. It always serves me well in any project that I use it for. So there's number 2. And by the way, these aren't in a particular order. These are just like the 5 that I picked out that was like my go-tos. So let's go a little bit, let's see, we'll just keep moving east here. So my next workhorse yarn is the Lopi. This is the Alafas Lopi. This is the Reynolds sort of version of that, but I've bought Lopi yarn from various stores under, just the current Lopi, the Alafas Lopi name, and obviously this is from Iceland. So this is a heavier yarn, might call it a bulky weight, and the needle size is going to be a 10. I've knit 3 sweaters with Lopi. Again, I live in a cold climate, so I've got one of them on right now. This morning it was minus 25. Well, it went up to 20, so literally the temperature was 55 degrees. Is that 55? 45. 45 degrees over the course of, 10 hours, which is crazy. But Icelandic wool is just perfect for the kind of weather we've been having. And sturdy, workhorse, washes well. Lots of different colors, huge variety, great price point. It's just everything about this yarn is good. It's affordable, it's accessible, it's extremely well made, it's durable, and I've heard people say it scratches them and stuff. So that could be, I can't say how other people feel, but I have this on with a t-shirt. It doesn't bother me one bit. So hey Benny, what'd you do with my yarn? I have no problem wearing Lopi yarn against my skin. I don't know, maybe I'm just rugged. My 64 years of living, I've managed to endear myself. To me, it's just warm, and it's like I've got, a sheep against my skin. I have zero problems with this yarn. So I love working with it. It's consistent. I always know what to expect, and I know it's going to be warm. I could go out and it would be like, 35 or 40 degrees, and I could wear this sweater over my t-shirt and I'm fine. But put a hat on, It's just really great for our climate. So heading a little bit further east now, I've got some Norwegian yarn, and so far I've only knit 1 sweater with this. This is the Rauma. This is the Finulu. So this is an example of a workhorse yarn that is a fingering weight or a sport weight that I've used, and I intend to use it. I have a lot more because, again, it just has the sort of rustic yarn quality that you would expect. It's consistent, it's sturdy, it's 100% wool, beautiful colors, wonderful assortment of colors. I mean, these are, this is not superwash, folks. This is just regular rustic wool, and from a friendly country that I've been to and I really love, and they really know how to produce yarn because the Norwegians, knitters are everywhere, and they really appreciate quality. Plus, they need very high quality winter wear because of their climate there. So I feel like I can depend on the wool that I'm going to get from there. There's some countries where the wool, I would, I would question, what is the quality like? But from Norway, no, I have zero qualms about the quality of the yarn. And again, it's so affordable. I mean, these skeins, yes, these are 50-gram skeins, but they're probably only like $4 a piece. And so I have no problems like buying a sweater's quantity of wool in this Rauma Finnu garn. Here's the sweater that I knit. This is 100% Rauma Finnu garn. Just love this sweater. It's a little bit lighter weight. It's perfect for spring. It washes well, holds up well. The colors are vibrant. I had no problems doing the color work with it. You don't have like splitting threads or something like this. I just love this pattern, and it's fantastic. So I highly recommend. That's a sort of a go-to Workhorse yarn that I would recommend without any reservations, unless you prefer superwash or something like that, great, but I'm kind of a traditionalist. I've tried superwash and I've tried the rustic stuff, and I just really appreciate how the rustic yarn, it just seems more natural. There are no chemicals to speak of with rustic wool. It's all wool, beautiful yarn. And so my final selection might surprise you a little bit to call it a workhouse yarn, but the way I use it, it definitely works that way. And it's a selection from Japan, again, another country where you're going to find really high quality products, and that workhouse yarn is actually Noro. So surprise, surprise, a lot of you might be like, wait, are you sure? I love the colors, the vibrant colors, the way the colors change in these skeins. It's just incredible. So fun to work with. The quality is exquisite. I do like the fact that you're going to get a little bit of variation in the way that the yarn feels and the thickness. You can kind of see there. For example, here, this little strand is, it's like the twist is a little bit different. And then we've got some barber pulling going on, a little bit thinner, a little bit thicker, but the overall effect of this yarn with all the variations is so harmonious and gorgeous. I feel like they have geniuses coming up with this yarn. And again, it's a rustic, it's 100% wool. Some people, they say it feels scratchy, it feels itchy. I don't have that problem. Maybe I'm just lucky, but the quality, it holds up so beautifully. This is obviously a little more expensive, but if I'm not mistaken, these are 200 gram balls. And so you're paying, basically it's a $40 ball, and yeah, 200 grams. So it's, $20 for 100 grams. So that's obviously a lot more than, like, their brown sheet might be like $8 or $9 for 100 grams. But it is from Japan, and it's like a higher level, I think. But I consider a workhorse yarn. I've already knit 3 sweaters from Lopi. And this is what you end up with. It's just like a work of art. The way the colors pool, all the striping, all the variations, they're so harmonious. And I just love how the yarn unfolds. All the colors sort of unfurl as you're working on them. And the sweater is growing, and it's like, ooh, here's a green, here's a turquoise, here's a black, here's a pink, here's an orange. It's so much fun, I mean, I enjoy almost the restful monotony of knitting a sweater body like this. It's just extremely calming. But sometimes I want something a little bit more exciting, and this is like calmingly exciting in its own way to knit something like this. So, and again, the quality is just, it's fantastic. You can't quibble with it. It's just, I love it. And wonderful to wear in the winter. I haven't explored making, half wool, half cotton sweater tops yet. Maybe eventually I might do that. I wear my sweaters in the winter. In the summer, I'm out mowing the lawn. It's 90 degrees, so obviously then I'm just wearing my wool socks, because believe it or not, wool socks keep you as cool as they do warm. Just depends on what's going on outside your foot. But there's my top 5 workhorse yarns. I'd be really curious what your experience is. You may have a totally different list from me. You may have totally different preferences. Maybe you work with British wool, or you're not a fan of the rustics, or you're more of a fan of, I don't know, the blends. I don't know. I've knit with a lot of other yarns, and there are very few that I don't like. But these are the ones that I just kind of come back to again and again. So let me know what your preferences are as far as the ones that you come back to again and again. Maybe talk to us a little bit about some of your projects that you've made with them and how they turned out and what you would recommend. I appreciate your listening. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week, and we'll talk soon. Ciao. Bye.